So we're about to get into the commit or the painting phase lifecycle methods, and so in updating, we've done the rendering, we have the shoot component, and we have the get derived state from props, and now we are getting into get snapshot before update. So let's see what React docs can say about that. So it is invoked right before the most recently rendered output is committed to the DOM. It enables your component to capture some information from the DOM, like score position, before it is potentially changed. Any value returned by this lifecycle will be passed as a parameter to component did update. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this in the moment, but yeah. So this use case is not common, but it may occur in UIs like chat. Okay. So we need to pass the pref props and pref state onto it. Okay, so that's good. So, but the most important thing that it is invoked just before any actual DOM change. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to mark the fibers with another field. With another field that it has a get snapshot before update. So when the fiber is being created, which is in the reconciliation, so it's somewhere here. Okay. And the way to do this is I don't know how to do that at the moment, but so it's definitely not called on deletion. It's just an update thing, and an update thing when the type is the same thing, obviously, because otherwise the deletion and a placement takes place. So update and let's call it a snapshot effect, and snapshot effect will be alternate that state node get snapshot. It's a snapshot before update. So we just check in if it has a snapshot, get snapshot before update function. If it does, then we just return true, and if not, it's false. For now, we can change it later. So we know that it will have a snapshot effect, and it's visible on the fiber. Okay, and if we are going to the commit, so commit work, and it says that it's done just before the rendering. Is invoked right before the most recent rendered output is committed to the. Okay, so it's not on commit work, but on commit all work. So we might want to do something like fiber effects filter and item, or just effect dot snapshot effect const with snapshot. I just wanna have a sense what it will console log out. Yes. Okay, so if I come back here, yep, yeah, it's an empty array, which is kind of expected because we don't have anything with a get snapshot before update. So what if we do have a get snapshot before update, like in the create to do? So get snapshot before update. And that's not quite good. Get snapshot. Yeah, because it's an update. It happens an update thing. Yeah. So now it doesn't happen on placement, but on update stuff. So now we have the fiber. So snapshot effect true. Sweet. Okay. So snapshot effect true. Snapshot effect true. So what we can do with snapshot, okay, we need to with snapshot dot for each, maybe, right? For each effect we can let's just save the return value to variable like result. Let result equals effect dot it's on the state node, so state node, and the name of it get snapshot before update, and let's actually call it and console log the result out. But it's not gonna be that impressive because in our client code we are not returning anything, so just let's return something with something. How creative I am. And let's actually, okay, and make an update. Okay, so with the 292 we got back the result of the function invocation. So that's pretty much good because we are invoking at the right moment, like just before every other effect will take place, and we are invoking it only on update fibers, which is pretty good. Like on mounting it doesn't happen. So what is missing, that we need to pass the previous props and the previous date. We needed to feed it onto it. The problem is that these props and well, it's not a problem. So the previous props, I think it's easy because it's the alternate. So if we have the alternate dot props, it's pretty much good. But we also need the previous state, which is a bit more trickier because at this point, so let's just think about it, how we can get the previous state. The state is being calculated in the begin task, I suppose. Yeah, begin task. So here we got the next state. So let's just think about it. So we created the fiber somewhere. Where did we create the fiber? We created the fiber here. Okay, that's good. So we have the snapshot effect, and this fiber will eventually be passed on to the begin task. So if we have the begin task, okay. And I think we can, in this case, we can, so if fiber dot snapshot effect Yeah, so if it has a snapshot effect, then what we can do, oopsie, so if we have a snapshot effect, just before we assign the new state, we can put fiber dot old state pref state equals fiber dot state node dot state, and fiber dot pref props equals fiber dot state node dot props, probably. And with having done that, if we go to commit all work, now we can do something like effect dot pref props and effect dot pref state, I think. Let's check. So we have pref props and we have pref state. Okay, so we now have the getSnapshotBeforeUpdate. And what if we assign the result to effect dot snapshot effect, maybe snapshot effect, we can assign it back there. And so now if we console log it, oh shit, I'm sorry, if we assign it to here, we should have the snapshot effect is basically the snapshot. Okay, so that's one possible implementation. It might have its flaws, but I think it's definitely gonna work. But okay. Okay, now comes what comes now? So get snapshot before, and now comes the component did update. So component did update is invoked immediately after updating occurs. This method is not called for the initial render. Use this as an opportunity to operate on the DOM when the component has been updated. Okay, so it's basically for side effects and things. You may call set state immediately in component did update, but note that it must be breaked in a condition like in the example above, or you cause an infinite loop. Okay. And it will have access to the snapshot if we have a snapshot. So that's the point when the rendering was done. So rendering is done, everything's been painted to the DOM when this is finished, because it's not in the loop. Okay. So what we can do here is okay, so we need const update effects, and we need to filter out the effects that was under the update stuff, which is basically filter. Oh, I might sorry. Just want to check something before I'm onto it. Okay, so this is the place. Okay, so what we need to do is, I think it's pretty much the same logic, but commit all work. So filter, we have the effect, and we need multiple things. So return effect, the effect tag equals update, and also effect dot tag is class component, because we don't want to call it on host nodes. Okay, so just let's console log update effects. Okay. Okay, so nothing on mounting. Good. Mark complete. We have 3 update effects. Good. So now what we need to do is update effects dot for each effect, and just try to keep it simple, but just for now I wanna call the actual method. So effect state node dot component did update. So now I think it would throw an error. Yep, component did update is not a function. Okay, let's make it a function. Okay, now it should pass. Yep. Okay, but we actually want to do something into the function. So let's do something here. So it's create to do component did update, and just console log from update comp. Okay, so create from update comp. Okay, so that's pretty good. Every time it gets updated, we invoke in the component did update, which is kind of nice. Okay, so it's called with prev state, no, prev props, prev state, and snapshot, if there is any snapshot. Okay, so now if I console log these out, I don't think there are any arguments. I just rather stick with separate lines. Okay, so everything is undefined at the moment. Good. So we had in the recons, not in the begin task, that if fiber snapshot effect save the prep state and prep props. I think we can do better than that. and I can say that if fiber affected equals update, then save it. And snapshot, so it's also redundant because it will always be an update when you have snapshots, so it won't break things, I suppose. Yeah. And now in the commit all work, so commit all work, we can call the component update with the effect prev props, and with the effect prev state. So now if now you can see that it kind of works, because you have the props, you have the state, and the state is just the previous one because it's SD, and I have in the current state SDF. So we are passing the right stuff, and I might want to pass a third argument, which is fiber dot snapshot effect, but I might want to modify that a bit in the reconcile children. So Artan is in getSnapshotBeforeUpdate true or undefined. So it's undefined here, which is kind of expected, but if I copy this and paste it on to where we actually have, oh no, we had a getSnapshotBeforeUpdate here, so it should be something. Okay, so that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, it should appear as a third argument, right? Is it here or where? Execute subtask, commit all work. So fiber, yeah, obviously, because it's not, it's effect, snapshot effect. Okay, so yeah, so something appears as a snapshot. We have input as a pref state and onto the children as a pref prop. Okay, so let's check it out when we only have a component did mount, and this could be this component, okay, which is undefined. Okay, so to-dos is undefined, and this pref state is just like an empty object. Okay, so I think that works just fine. So we covered the component did update. Okay. What else we have? We need to cover the component did mount and the component will unmount. Let's do the component did mount this time, and the component will unmount in the upcoming video. So I wanna get rid of that one. Also, component did update, I don't need this now. I don't need component did update, getSnapshotBeforeUpdate, okay. Alright. Let's do a component did mount on the to-do component. Component did mount. So component did mount immediately after a component is mounted. Immediately after. Okay, I think it's just pretty much the same thing as component did update, except it happens on mounting. So Yeah, probably I can copy this bit and update effects, mount effects, fiber effects, effect type, placement, and class component, update effects. It's without component did mount without any arguments. Component did update, component and did mount. Okay, so cannot read property for each of undefined. Yep, sorry. Okay, so let's actually do something here. Console log mounted. Okay, well, it's there, and it shouldn't get called any other time. Yep, great. Console log mounted. Okay, so what happens if I put this dot set state and put to-dos empty array? Yeah, fine, it works. So that was a pretty easy lifecycle method. Okay, so now I'm just wanna finish this off right here, and 2D component will unmount in the next one and clean up some of the code. And yep, thanks for listening, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.